One of the things I'm going to do today after I get these combed out is I'm going to shoot my 45-90. Anyway, that's what we're going to do today. So if that interests you, grab a cup of coffee and stick with us. We'll get right on it. I'm going to finish these hides up first. So anyway, here's another coyote. This one here. We've got 5 out of here now. This is a ranch that I'm working. That one's a pretty nice looking coyote. Let's go over and take a look at him. This is a reproduction 1886. Well, it's a Winchester 1886. It's not an original one from the Old West. This is a Japanese 1886. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what, they're great replicas. Over the years, a lot of people have been trying to make more powerful lever guns, especially with the 94, such a popular rifle. And Winchester made a stab at it. They made it in 307, 375, and I think 346 or something like that, and made it a more powerful lever gun. But in the Old West, we had the 1886. That was a pretty stout gun. It would shoot, well, depending on what you got. If you bought it in like a 50 110, which would be, a lot of those were called express rifles. And they would carry like a 300 grain bullet, and they'd push them really fast, and they were called express rifle. They had a twist for smaller bullets, so they had a slower twist, and they usually come out of the factory with 32 twist. If it was going to shoot bigger bullets, then they would give them like a 22 twist or 24, something like that. Anyway, this one here is a 1886. It first came into existence as a 45-70, but it has been cut out to 45-90. I'm going to try some of these. These are 300 grain. They're 300 grain jacketed bullets that I don't know how it's going to shoot out here. What we got to do is find out what the rifling is on here. I shot those the 300 grain hollow point all lead. They shot okay, but the 425 shot better. I shot all these on paper. I'm just playing on the steel right now. This one here is a 300 grain hollow point, but it's a jacketed bullet. I'm just curious what it's going to do. It shot pretty good. Put that down in there. Okay, so I'll mark the stick here. And I'll put a mark on it. So I got a T across here where the edge of the barrel is, and across the top. So, okay. Oh, here we go. Now I'm watching this. It's going around to the left. And here it comes. Now it's straight up. Okay, this might. Now we're going to measure from the barrel. So it's 20 and a half. So one of the things that I've noticed that I think makes a difference matching the rifling to the bullet is these larger bullets are longer. And which means more of the bullet is touching the rifling as it goes down the barrel. Like I say, the express rifles come in 132 twist, and they handle your 300. This is a 300 grain lead cast hollow point bullet that I cast, and it has 1/2 of an inch of bullet that will contact the rifling as it goes down the barrel. This one's a 4. This one's the mold is a 425. My lead weight on it is a little bit more than that. Anyway, it has a little bit better line. It has 3/4 of an inch contacting the rifling. This is that 500, where the majority of it is inside the case. And it has, well, it has a little bit of a bevel in the back, but it's almost an inch contacting the rifling. That probably makes a big difference. These are all going somewhere. Well, these I didn't crony this one. They're all going pretty good. The 425s were going 1557, and the 500s were going about the same. We put a little more powder in the 500s. So anyway, let's try the 425s. They shoot good. Some of these things, it's got a crescent buttstock on it. Some of them are a little bit heavy on the shoulder. Huh. I think I pulled that. That one was heavy on the shoulder. Let's try another one. 425 grains. 1557. There we go. Ooh, that hit hard. That hit real hard. The 500s, they're pretty accurate too. The 425s were the best. All of them, if you're a 100-yard hunter, 150-yard hunter, which is what with my eyes and open sights, that's all I can do anyway. None of them aren't so bad that they'll work for that and be a good, small enough group. But the 425 did give the best group, and so if you were shooting a little further away, your group should be a little tighter. Of course, I'm shooting them. They're staying pretty much in the same place on that steel, but I like to shoot a lot of this practice stuff offhand, just so my offhand gets a little better. Here's the 500. Try again. Huh. Add primer. I ain't putting that in my pocket. Let's try another one. I'm surprised I had a bad primer on that one. Okay, another one. 500 grain. Oh. Good load. Primer is a bit flat. It might have been, the book said it was only 18,000. It was the lowest load you could put in there. Boy, I'll tell you what, it knocked that metal hard. And what hurts on this gun so much more than the shoulder is your hand in the lever from the recoil. So I don't believe I want to shoot another one of them. Like I say, I shot 3 of them in a target, and they grouped just about a little under an inch. So let's get in the shop out of the cold. Supposed to be minus, what did it say? 13 in the morning. So it's getting, all right. So this one we got to take apart. Let's see. There's 2 more than 500s. Anyway, so it looks like for that gun, The best load is the 425, and what did I say, 1557. 425. Oh, I take that back. 1630 is what I got them going at. My notes from, I didn't have them all straight in my head. So that's, in terms of power, okay, 425 grain lead bullet going that fast is going to work on just about anything. Now I realize the long range trajectory is going to be a frickin', you know, but most hunting that you'd use a lever gun for, you know, this one here, I'd say the 400 would be good. I guess if you had grizzlies running around, that 500 would be a little better, but I bet the 400 would sure hit him hard too. Anyway, that's all I got for you this time. You guys have a great day. Thanks for stopping in. I'm Buckskin Dave. See you next time. Bye-bye.